Good morning, dear students of HSC first year. Welcome to the online class arranged by Rajshahi College. I am Mohammad Amir Sadat, Assistant Professor of English. Hope you all are keeping fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today, I will deliver a lecture on Unit-06, Lesson 1. And the title of Unit-06 is Adolescence, and the title of the lesson is The Storm and Stress of Adolescence. From the very title, you can guess that today we will discuss on adolescence. Many adolescents bear a lot of risk like use of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs and initiation of sexual relationships, pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections. A lot of adolescents experience a wide range of adjustment and health problems and mental problems. Adolescents are not fully capable of understanding complex concepts, including that related to sexual behavior, laws, customs, and practices may also affect them differently than adults. Moreover, even when services exist, provider attitudes about adolescents often pose a significant barrier to the use of those services. Many adolescents experience a wide range of adjustment and mental health problems. Behavior patterns that are formed during this period, such as the use of avoidance of drugs and taking or abstaining from sexual risk, can have long-lasting negative and positive effects on future health. As a result, adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescence. Today, I will discuss the text thoroughly and I will make some MCQ type of questions for your practice. Then I have made cross test with clues and without clues, and after that I have made some open-ended questions for your better understanding of the passage. I have made a slide presentation for the discussion of today's topic, and let's go to the slide presentation and enjoy today's class. Okay, dear students, now we'll start discuss from the text, but before going to start discussion from the text, let's have a look on today's class outline. From today's class, you may know Unit 6, Lesson 1, and you know that today's topic is adolescence, and I will read the text thoroughly. After that, I have made a vocabulary with synonyms and antonyms. Then I have made a summary of the passage, and after that, choose the best answer, that is some MCQ type of questions. I have made some MCQ questions for your practice. Then cross test with clues for practice. I have made this cross test from your text. Then cross test without clues for practice, and I have made this cross test without clues out of text, that is non-textual cross test, and after that some open-ended questions, that is short questions for your better understanding the passage. Today unit is Unit 6, and the title of the lesson, the title of the unit is Adolescence, and Lesson 1, and the title of the lesson is The Storm and Stress of Adolescence. Okay, before going to discussion, we have to know what is adolescence. World Health Organization identifies adolescence as the period in human life occurring after childhood and before adulthood. This is one of the critical transitions in one's lifespan. Biological processes drive many aspects of this growth with the onset of puberty. Some variation take place because of education, urbanization, and spread of global communication. Adolescence is the period of preparation for adulthood, when one experiences some basic developments like physical and sexual maturation, movement towards social and economical independence, and the acquisition of skills, etc. This period bears a lot of risk like uses of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, and initiation of sexual relationship, leading to fatal injuries, pregnancies, and sexually transmitted infection, that is STI. Many, however, experience a wide range of adjustment having long-lasting effects on future health and mental growth. Okay, now I think you have a idea about you have got an idea about what is adolescence. And now the text, you have to read the text, and then I have made some questions for you. Let's start the text. Many adolescents face pressure to use alcohol, cigarettes, or other drugs and to initiate sexual relationships, putting themselves at high risk for intentional and unintentional injuries, unintended pregnancies, and sexually transmitted infections, that is STIs, and including the human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV. Many also experience a wide range of adjustment and mental health problems. Behavior patterns that are established during this period, such as the use or avoidance of drugs and taking or abstaining from sexual risk, can have long-lasting negative and positive effects on future health and well-being. As a result, adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescents. Adolescents are different both from young children and adults. Especially, adolescents are not fully capable of understanding complex concepts or the relationship between behavior and consequences, or the degree of control they have or can have over health decision making, including that related to sexual behavior. Here you can see a picture on the kids. Talk to your kids about drugs and alcohol. And this inability may make them particularly vulnerable to sexual exploitation and high-risk behaviors. Laws, customs, and practices may also affect adolescents differently than adults. For example, laws and policies often restrict adolescents' access to reproductive health information and services, especially when they are unmarried. In addition, even when services do exist, provider attitudes about adolescents often pose a significant barrier to the use of those services. Here you can also see a picture and stop violence against women. And adolescents depend on their families, their communities, schools, health services, and their workplaces to learn a wide range of skills that can help them to cope with the pressures they face and make a successful transition from childhood to adulthood. Dear students, here you can see another picture. We all have the power to stop child abuse. Parents, members of the community, service providers, and social institutions have the responsibility to both promote adolescent development. I repeat, parents, members of the community, service providers, and social institutions have the responsibility to both promote adolescent development and adjustment and to intervene effectively when problems arise. And here is another beautiful picture, how a child grows up and how he reaches to adolescence period. Now, summary of the passage, and I think this summary will help you to understand the passage. Many adolescents bear a lot of risk, like use of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, and initiation of sexual relationships, leading to fatal injuries, pregnancies, and sexually transmitted infections. Many, however, experience a wide range of adjustment and health problems having long-lasting effects on future health and mental health. There is two types of health. Number one, future health, and number two, mental health. Adolescents are not fully capable of understanding complex concepts, including that related to sexual behavior. Laws, customs, and practices may also affect them differently than adults. Moreover, even when services exist, provider attitudes about adolescents often pose a significant barrier to the use of those services. My dear students, here is the vocabulary of the passage. The first word is initiate. Initiate is a verb. Its Bengali meaning is প্রথম অভিজ্ঞতা অর্জন করা অথবা শুরু করা, and its synonyms is experience or begin, and its antonym is finish. Then intentional. Intentional is an adjective, and its Bengali meaning is ichchakrito, and its synonym is done by intention, and its antonym is unintentional or unwilling. Then unintentional. This is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is onichchakrito, and its synonym is accidental, casual, involuntary, and its antonym is intentional. Unintended. Unintended is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is also onichchakrito, and its synonym is unintentional, and its antonym is intended. Pregnancy. Pregnancy is a noun, and its Bengali meaning is garbhodharon, and its synonym is conception or fertility, and its antonym is infertility or unproductiveness. Transmit. Transmit is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is সংক্রমণ ঘটানো, then its synonym is transfer or carry, and its antonym is receive. Immunodeficiency is a noun, and its Bengali meaning is রোগ প্রতিরোধ করার ক্ষমতার লোপ, and its English meaning is having not the normal ability to resist infection. I repeat, having not the normal ability to resist infection, that is called immunodeficiency. Avoidance. Avoidance is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is porihar, and its synonym is abstinence and desertion, and its antonyms is confrontation. Confrontation. And abstain. Abstain is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is বিরত থাকা, and its English meaning is keep away from or avoid or refrain, and its antonym is indulge. Long lasting. Long lasting is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is দীর্ঘস্থায়ী, and its synonym is durable, and antonym is short living. Unique. Unique is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is অসাধারণ বা বিশেষ, and its synonym is uncommon, unparalleled, and extraordinary, and its antonym is common. Then positive. Positive is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is ইতিবাচক, and its synonym is sure, actual, real, etc., and its antonym is negative. Then opportunities. Opportunities is a noun, and its Bengali meaning is সুযোগ সুবিধা, and its synonym is chances or occasions, and its antonym is omissions or misfortune. Concept. Concept is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is dharona, and its synonym is notion, idea or view, and its antonym is abstraction. Vulnerable. Vulnerable is an adjective, and its Bengali meaning is ঝুঁকিপূর্ণ, সুরক্ষিত নয় এমন, and its synonym is accessible, sensitive or weak, and its antonym is safe or closed or
guarded. So a lot of antonyms are there. And now exploitation. Exploitation is a noun and its Bengali meaning is nirjaton othoba shoshon, and its English meaning, English synonym is abuse or oppression, and its antonym is pamper. Behavior is a noun and its Bengali meaning is acharon, and its synonym is conduct, bearing or demeanor, and its antonym is misconduct or misbehavior. Custom is a noun, its Bengali meaning is riti, and its synonym is convention, fashion, practice, etc., and its antonym is deviation. Then practice. Practice is a noun, its Bengali meaning is riti niti, and its English synonym is custom or use or habit or uses, and its antonym is theory. Reproductive. Reproductive is an adjective, its Bengali meaning is projonon sankranto, and its synonym is of reproduction or generative, and its antonym is consumptive. Then significant. Significant is an adjective, its Bengali meaning is guruttopurno othoba tatporjopurno, its synonym is important or momentous, and its antonym is trivial. Then barrier. Barrier is a noun, its Bengali meaning is badha, and its synonym is hindrance or obstruction, and its antonym is opening. Then community. Community's Bengali meaning is sampradaya. Community means sampradaya. Its synonym is a group of people living in the same place and having common interest, religion, etc. And its antonym is isolation. Intervene is a verb. Intervene is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is hastokshep kora, and its synonym is interfere or meddle, and its antonym is ignore. Then effectively. Effectively is an adverb, its Bengali meaning is karjakor bhabe, and its synonym is efficaciously or efficiently or actively, and its antonym is uselessly or ineffectively. Uselessly or ineffectively. Now, dear learners, here is question 1 for you, and question 1 is choose the correct answer from the alternatives. That is MCQ type of questions. Here are 4 options and you have to choose the correct answer. Question A. What pressure do many adolescents face? Option 1, to go for watching cricket match. Option 2, to be attentive to studies. Option 3, to be more social. And option 4, to use drugs and initiate sexual relationship. So which will be the correct answer? To use drugs and initiate sexual relationship is the correct answer. So I repeat the question. What pressure do many adolescents face? To use drugs and initiate sexual relationship. Okay. Now question B. The adolescents put them to high risk. Option 1, by being undisciplined in their daily routine, by being inattentive to their studies, by using drugs and initiating sexual relationship, and option 4, by spending too much money. So here option 3 is the correct answer, by using drugs and initiating sexual relationship. So I repeat the question. The adolescent put them to high risk by using drugs and initiating sexual relationships. Question C. Dash have unique opportunities to influence adolescents. Option 1, parents. Option 2, society. Option 3, doctors. And option 4, adults. So which will be the correct answer? I think adults is the correct answer. Option 4 is the correct answer. adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescents. Question D. Adolescents learn wide-ranging skills from option 1 school, option 2 society, option 3 teachers and parents, and option 4 families, communities, schools, health services and other workplaces. So I think option 4 is the correct answer. Adolescents learn wide-ranging skills from families, communities, schools, health services and their workplaces. Option E, question E, dash are different from both young children and adults. Here are the options. Option 1 adolescents, option 2 the old, option 3 the infants, and option 4 those who are at their early childhood. Here option 1 is the correct answer. Adolescents are different from both young children and adults. Here is the solution to question 1, which I have already discussed. Now I would like to request my students to write down the answer in the khatas. For question A, option 4 is the correct answer, to use drugs and initiate sexual relationships. For question B, option 3 is the correct answer, by using drugs and initiating sexual relationship. For question C, option 4 is the correct answer, adults. For question D, option 4 is the correct answer, families, communities, schools, health services and their workplaces. For question E, option 1 is the correct answer, that is adolescents. Now my dear students, I have made some more MCQ questions for your practice. Question F is, adolescence is option 1 a stage of life, option 2 last stage for becoming an adult, option 3 a grooming period of life, and option 4 last stage of life. So I think option 2 is the correct answer. Adolescence is last stage for becoming an adult. Last stage for becoming an adult. Question G. Why do adolescents depend on their families, their communities? Very important question. Option 1, to pass through adolescence. Option 2, for learning a wide range of skill to cope with the situation. Option 3, for overcoming the critical situation. And option 4, to share their feelings. So here option 2 is the correct answer, for learning a wide range of skill to cope with the situation. So I repeat the question. Why do adolescents depend on their families, their communities? And the answer is for learning a wide range of skill to cope with the situation. Now question H. STI stands for, very important question, STI stands for what? Option 1, sub-transaction solutions. Option 2, standard technology immunities. Option 3, sexually transmitted infection. Option 4, shuttle tempting salvations. Obviously option 3 is the correct answer, sexually transmitted infection. STI stands for sexually transmitted infections. Now question I. HIV stands for what? HIV stands for what? Number 1, higher immune virus. Option 2, height inch-free vitamin. Option 3, highly immune vertebrate. And option 4, human immunodeficiency virus. I think option 4 is the correct answer. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Now question J. The best synonym of exploitation is. What is the best synonym of exploitation? Option 1, torture. Option 2, exposed to. Option 3, concealed from. And option 4, maltreated. Here I think option 1 is the correct answer. Torture is the best synonym of exploitation. Dear learners, here is the solution to more MCQ question. You can write down the answer in your khata. For question F, option 2 is the correct answer, last stage for becoming an adult. For question G, option 2 is the correct answer, for learning a wide range of skill to cope with the situation. For question H, option 3 is the correct answer, sexually transmitted infections. And for question I, option 4 is the correct answer, human immunodeficiency virus. And for question J, option I, torture is the correct answer. Now dear learners, here is question 2. Fill in the gaps with suitable words from the list. That is called clause test with clues. There are 10 clues for you. You have to read out the clues and you have to understand the clues. Then you have to put them in the gaps. Now I'll start. Adolescents are different both from young children and gap A. Which will be the correct answer for gap A? I think adults is the correct answer. So I repeat the line. Adolescents are different both from young children and adults. Especially adolescents are not, gap B, capable of understanding complex concepts. So which will be the correct answer for gap B? I think fully is the correct answer. Especially adolescents are not fully capable of understanding complex concepts or the relationships between behavior and gap C. So which will be the correct answer for gap C? Consequences. I think consequences is the correct answer for gap C. So relationship between behavior and consequences, or the degree of control they have or can have over health decision making, including that related to sexual behavior. This inability may make them gap D. Which will be the correct answer for gap D? Particularly. Make them particularly vulnerable to sexual exploitation and high risk behaviors. Laws, customs and practices may also gap E. Which will be the correct answer for gap E? Affect. I think affect is the correct answer for gap E. So I repeat the line. Laws, customs and practices may also affect adolescents differently than adults. For example, laws and gap F often restrict adolescent access to gap G, health information. So which will be the correct answer for gap F? Policies is the correct answer. For example, laws and policies often restrict adolescents access to dash health. So I think G, reproductive is the correct answer. Access to reproductive health information and services, especially when they are unmarried. Gap H, addition. So which will be the correct answer for gap H? You have to think about it. I think in is the correct answer. In addition, even when services do exist, provider attitudes about adolescents often pose a significant gap I. So here barrier is the correct answer. Significant barrier to the use of those J. Which will be the correct answer? Services. Services is the correct answer for gap J. I repeat the last line. In addition, even when services do exist, provider attitudes about adolescents often pose a significant barrier to the use of those services. So here is the solution to question 2. I would like to request you to write down the answers in your khata. We have already discussed clause test with clues, and the answer is for gap A, adults is the correct answer. For gap B, full is the correct answer. For gap C, consequences is the correct answer. For gap D, particularly is the correct answer. For gap E, if affect is the correct answer. For gap F, policies is the correct answer. For gap G, reproductive is the correct answer. For H, gap in is the correct answer. For I, barrier is the correct answer. And for gap J, services is the correct answer. Now dear learners, here is question 3, that is complete the following passage with suitable words. It is also called clause test without clues. There are no clues. You have to fill the gaps with your own memory, with your own intellect, with the help of grammar or grammatical rules. So let's start the passage. Students are the dash, hope and strength of our country. And here I would like to say that you can write a lot of options. For each gap you can use many options. I think for gap A you can write future. Students are the future hope and strength of our country. Much depends upon dash they utilize their time and dash at present. So which will be the correct answer for gap B? You have to think. I think how is the correct answer for gap B. And for gap C, energy is the correct answer. So I repeat the line, much depends upon how they realize their time and energy at present. Time and energy at present. They have to acquire knowledge, experience and wisdom. They have to study the condition, gap D, our people, so that they, gap E, realize in gap F, kind reform is gap G. So this is a long sentence. You have to read it slowly and step by step you have to fill the gap. So I would like to say which will be the correct answer for D. They have to study the condition of our people so that they can realize in gap F what kind reform is necessary. So I repeat the line, they have to study the condition of our people so that they can realize in what kind reform is necessary. If this student community is destroyed, there will be no hope dash for the nation. So which will be the correct answer for gap H? Left, L-E-F-T. You can write left for the correct answer. In this student community is destroyed, if this student community is destroyed, there will be no hope left for the nation. So they should be guided dash a proper way. Which will be the correct answer for gap I? In is the correct answer. So they should be guided in a proper way. The students should realize. For gap I you can write realize. The students should realize that the nation expects much from them. So here is the solution to question 3, that is solution for clause test without clues. For gap A, future is the correct answer. For gap B, how is the correct answer. For C, energy is the correct answer. For gap D, off is the correct answer. For gap E, can is the correct answer. For gap F, what is the correct answer. For gap G, necessary is the correct answer. For gap H, left is the correct answer. For gap I, in is the correct answer. And for gap J, realize is the correct answer. And if you want, you can write down the solution in your khata. Now we will start some short questions. Dear learners, here is question 4. Answer the following question. It is also called open-ended questions. After reading the text, this type of question you have to answer in your exam. Here is question A. What pressure do many adolescents face? And the answer is, many adolescents face a pressure to use alcohol and initiate sexual relationships. For question B, when should social institutions intervene effectively? Here is the answer. Social institutions intervene means sexually transmitted infections including HIV and you know that HIV is called AIDS, and it is also a very fatal disease in our country or in the whole world. Question C. Why are adolescents different from both children and adults? And the answer is, adolescents are different from the children and the adults in the sense that they are neither children nor adults. They are more than children but less than adults. Question D. Why do many adolescents experience a wide range of problems regarding adjustment and mental health? It is a very important question. Why do many adolescents experience a wide range of problems regarding adjustment and mental health? And the answer is, many adolescents experience a wide range of problems regarding health when they start taking drugs and initiate sexual activities. Now question E. What is meant by relationship between behavior and consequence? Very important question. What is meant by relationship between behavior and consequence? And the answer is, by relationship between behavior and consequence, we mean the results of our actions. The adolescents are not capable of understanding the result of their action, and that's why they suffer from wide-ranging problems. Question F. How do the adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescents? How do the adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescents? It is a very important question, and I have made a sample answer for you. You may write according to your own. Here is the answer. Many adolescents experience a wide range of adjustment and mental health problems. Behavior patterns and that are formed during this period, such as the use or avoidance of drugs and taking or abstaining from sexual risk, can have long-lasting negative and positive effects on future health and well-being. As a result, adults have unique opportunities to influence adolescents. Thank you very much, my dear students. I think from today's class you have learned a lot. I have already discussed Unit 6 Lesson 1. I have discussed what is adolescence. I have read the passage thoroughly, then I have made a vocabulary, I have made a summary for you, I have discussed some MCQ type of questions, clause test with clues, clause test without clues, and some short questions. I think you have enjoyed a lot. Stay home and stay safe. Allah Hafiz.